Now, the beginning of your story, it seems like you had some derailers, some roadblocks. But you sound positive about them. I'm sure they didn't feel like it at the time. How did you view them when you were waiting to be picked or when you got locked up?
Traumatizing, right? This is something that you spend your whole life trying to get to. Today, I might seem like I'm confident about it, right?
Yeah.
But at the time, I wasn't. So I've committed suicide twice, right? Not that good at it, as you can see, right?
Wow.
That's one thing that's good to fail at, right?
Yeah.
So I've committed suicide twice and dealt with my own mental health issues, right? So now on to the fast forward a few years into helping these players out, a lot of these guys were dealing with mental health issues,
Mhm.
right? And a lot of these guys deal with anxiety and depression in the highest form of rejection of something that you wanted to do your whole life.
Yeah.
So there was a rehab facility that only treated athletes, right? And I own this rehab facility. But how I discovered it is I sent one guy out to this rehab facility that was having a lot of issues. And he came back and he was like, man, that was life changing. Like I
Mm.
loved it. So immediately I jumped on a plane, went out there with my business partner, and I said, guys need this,
Yeah.
right? And I've helped her develop this facility up to the fact that she was getting older and she wanted to, shut
Yeah.
everything down and was done. And I basically said, there's no way that we can do that. If this goes away, then all of these players that we're
Mm.
treating, all of these players that we're saving, that goes away for them, right? So me and my business partner, we got together and I purchased the facility. And now it's Pure Recovery California.
Mm.
And we treat guys for anxiety, depression, substance abuse, TBIs, neurocognitive
Mm.
issues. So guys go out there and we have a 95% success rate.
Wow.
Out at our facility, there are a lot of rehab facilities around the country, right? But it's unique when it comes to sports and playing sports on a high level. It's unique to the things that you go through
Yeah.
from a mental capacity. So it's hard for you to get healing unless you're around a lot of people that are dealing with the same things that you're dealing with, right?
Yeah.
So when I walk into a rehab facility and there's Joe Blow, that comes in here and he's telling his story and you just don't feel it.
If you can't relate to
You
it, then
can't
you can't
relate, you
connect.
can't
You
give it
still don't belong. You still
right.
are trying to
You still don't
figure out where you
belong.
fit.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So when guys go to our facility, because it is all athletes,
Mhm.
you are getting that experience. So you're going through, these guys have been through the same thing that you've been through. Now, they might be at a different place in your journey. There
Yeah.
might be somebody further along that you
Mhm.
can pull from. There might
Mhm.
be somebody not as far along that can pull from you. And getting together with them is like having that locker room experience again. You
Mm.
have that brotherhood again. And we have an alumni program where
Mm.
we can stay in touch and we hold each other accountable, where we check up on each other and we build that camaraderie and have that brotherhood that we had back in the day. So that is the biggest difference at our rehab facility. And that's why it works so well with our guys.